Since Brentford Football Club was founded over a century ago, many great names have passed through the Bees' books. Past masters such as Jim Towers, Jack Holliday, Ken Coote and Jackie Graham have all become legendary figures in the eyes of Brentford fans. More recently, star players such as Andy Sinton, Dean Holsworth and Gary Blissett have all been proud to wear Brentford's famous red and white stripes. Unfortunately, the television cameras have been infrequent visitors to Griffin Park over the years, and relatively few of Brentford's past exploits have been captured on celluloid for the benefit of current Bees supporters. However, Brentford were occasionally featured on London weekend television's The Big Match programme, and we've been able to raid LWT's video vaults to bring you rare coverage of 4 classic Bees matches from the 70s and early 80s. We start by turning the clock back to the 21st of August 1971, as Frank Blunstone's side prepare for the first home game of the season against Aldershot in the 4th Division. From the Big Match studios at LWT, we're joined by a comparatively youthful-looking Brian Moore.
Jimmy Hill is here to bring you his analysis. We take another look at your letters as well, and we've got one of our popular fun spots for all of you to enjoy. But now let's pick up with the action, and for that we go into the 4th Division for Brentford against Aldershot, a good ground with First Division traditions to it. And Brentford now led out by Bobby Ross, a skillful Scot, with a side, I suppose, that could well be amongst the challengers this season. This 11, incidentally, chosen from only 14 professionals on the whole of the Brentford staff. The number 11, Doherty, passed a test just before the kick-off. So that's Brentford. And then, after we've seen Brentford out, we come to Aldershot, led today by the big striker, Jack Howarth, in the absence of player-manager Jimmy Melia, who is injured. It's a young Aldershot side that, according to their manager, has not yet got fully into its swing. So we have 2 sides with a tremendous amount of potential, enough to set a strong pace in the 4th Division. And each side, in fact, has its experienced players. For Brentford, it's Peter Gelson, playing his 350th game for Brentford. Only 2 players in the club have done that before, Tom Higginson and Ken Coote. And Aldershot, too, have Jerry Gurr in goal, formerly with First Division Southampton, until a shoulder injury put him out of the game for a year. A referee, as I say, Tony Oliver from Leigh-on-Sea, Essex.
So a new angle on the kick-off as Brentford get us away in this 4th Division match in their red and white stripes, defending the goal to our left. Aldershot this afternoon in light blue shirts and white shorts. And Brentford immediately making the running through Doherty. With the number 7 for Aldershot, Dennis Brown there to give away a corner in this opening minute. It'll be Doherty to take it. And pressure on the Aldershot goal area, but not in a way there quite competently by Dick Walton, the number 2 for Aldershot into touch. So it's going to be Roger Cross with the throw, formerly with West Ham. And a good long throw indeed by Cross, right in that goal mouth. O'Mara trying to get to it. Graham, in fact, turning it back again, and a goal kick to Aldershot. Jackie Graham. Grammett. And now Scales. Flick for Cross. Turn back there for Turner, who was coming on fast. Doherty looking for it as well. And still it's with Turner now. Will he thunder through with this? Down he goes, and a free kick given just outside that Aldershot penalty area, given against Ray Dean, the number 5, on Turner. So Gurr wanting 4 men in the wall. He's saying 4 in the wall. And indeed, you'll see there are 4 men in that Aldershot wall. And they've got to get back 10 yards. And it's again in the referee's hands. If he doesn't get them back 10 yards, then they can well be cautioned. And in fact, Howarth very nearly getting into trouble there on the left of the picture. And still not taken as they wanted. Cross now to hammer one, but too high. Brody, Howarth, all taken from behind by Nelms, and Nelms didn't like it. But I must say to me that looked a good decision by the referee. Nelms here didn't think much of it, and Howarth, the number 9, was hobbling a bit there. So he obviously agreed, and it's Burt with the free kick for Aldershot. Again, Melledew right up there now amongst the strikers. Brown going in as well, and Brown using his elbows, he jumped. And again, the referee not happy with the way that one was taken. We're now hearing a lot of whistle. It's going to be Peter Nelms, in fact, or rather Peter Gelson to take the free kick. Dean winning it in the air. Ross now for Brentford to Graham. Doherty. Turned back very nicely there for Graham, and right in there for O'Mara, and O'Mara really should have made a lot more of that. That was probably the best chance that Brentford have had so far, with 35 minutes gone. A really nice little move there on the left. And it's Brodie for Aldershot. Leaving it now for Burt. Challenge there with Ross, and the ball going into touch again, and again it's Brentford's throw. This time Paul Bence to take it. John Doherty. Really a tricky little customer. A nice little ball there towards the near post. Bobby Ross turning it back again. Oh, and Jackie Graham very nearly in there at the far post. O'Mara now for them, and a goal kick. No, it's I think conceivably it might be a free kick to Brentford. The players are looking puzzled. Gelson well up. Jocelyn equally well up for Aldershot. Walden. And Howarth winning that one in the air, but to no avail. Bence tidying up. Chasing that, but chasing it straight into touch. Grummett. Stopped by Ross. Two or three Brentford players there trying to get the better of Howarth. None of them managed to do so as the whistle goes for half-time. Jimmy Melia there going straight into the dressing room. I presume they'll be pretty well pleased with the way that Aldershot have played in this first half, but Brentford will need to take much more of the initiative if home advantage is going to mean anything in the second half. Still to come on the big match today for you to enjoy highlights of Newcastle against Liverpool and Preston against Fulham. The half-time score here at Griffin Park, Brentford 0, Aldershot 0, and we'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. Man in the spotlight, referee Tony Oliver of Essex gets the second half away. And Aldershot quickly in possession with Burt. Aldershot, in fact, who completed the double over Brentford last season. 3-2 victory here and a 1-0 victory back at Aldershot. Dean. Brentford, for their part, made a really disastrous start to last season, but then came very strongly in the second half of the season. And, of course, reached the 5th round of the Cup. Nelms trying to push it forward. Cross being pushed in the back there by Dean. And Cross down and injured, and looks to be in a fair bit of pain. Quite a hefty challenge that was by Dean. In the spectacles in the centre there, Frank Blunstone, the Brentford manager, who of course had 17 years at Chelsea, came here in December '69. Brentford's first home game, and not at all a bad crowd. Roger Cross all right again. Brentford's free kick. Not a very good one, though. Burt quite easily getting a foot to it. Graham nodding it back, and two Brentford players, both Doherty and Cross, caught offside. Jocelyn beating Turner for that one. Brodie a long way forward. Nelms back to Phillips. Bennett pushing into the back of Cross, and Brentford's free kick. Cross now going up into that Aldershot penalty area to take up a position with O'Mara, and Graham's there as well. Ross also. There's Graham, number 8, Ross, number 10, and plenty of Aldershot players coming back to defend. In fact, only Melledew is up for them now. There's the free kick from Bentz, and Dean misjudging that one, but Walden covering him. Cross. Nice little play there to Ross, but there are so many Aldershot defenders back again. Cross beaten in the air once more by Dean. Doherty now, can he get a shot in? Back to Turner. Turner trying to cross it. Ross now breasting it down for Ross rather, and just past that Aldershot post. A nice little piece of pushing down there by Cross as that ball came over, and Bobby Ross here following up very quickly but wide. Melledew. Jocelyn making a break from the middle of the field, and Ross had spotted him and going with him. Did well there, Bobby Ross, and found Paul Bentz. Inside now for Turner. Turner passing it now towards Graham. A long one forward, which Cross will pound after, but again, Dean is there. And again, Dean at the back, very impressive indeed, along with Walden and Bennett as well, and Burt. A very good-looking back four that all should have got here in the 4th division. Cross. Certainly Brentford so far have been able to make little headway against them. Graham a long one across the field. Brodie has come right back. Jocelyn looking for it in the middle of the field. Ross there, trying one first time, but wide. But certainly the intention was very laudable indeed there, Bobby Ross. The Brentford skipper trying to whip a bit of action into his strikers. Brown. Nelms, Ross. Bentz and O'Mara. O'Mara at the moment looking to be that yard or so too slow. Offside given against Howarth on the far side. No more than a couple of yards inside the Brentford half, but it was enough. Bentz. So a free kick to Brentford, and Brian Turner to take it. 2, 4, 5 Brentford players have gone up. A little chip. And again, Dean is there, head and shoulders above them all. Nelms. And certainly those Aldershot defenders coming out very quickly, but Dean had stayed back, otherwise they'd have been offside. And now it's Turner going on, and again stopped by Dean. Bentz to get this one across. Walden had nodded away. O'Mara there as well. Now Turner to hammer one, and it's a goal! A deflection there, but it must go to Turner. And Brentford go into the lead with 17 minutes of the second half gone. A really powerful shot there from Brian Turner. A deflection in that Aldershot defence, and just beyond the reach of Gurr. So really Gurr stood little chance with it. Turner every chance with a shot with that sort of power, and Brentford go into the lead. Howarth taking that one from Walden. Jocelyn have to increase his work rate still more in the middle of the field, and he's done a lot already. And Brown, a long ball. Melledew trying to get underneath it, and Howarth trying to hit one as well, and Gilson to get it away for Brentford. Doherty now. Well, that might well liven a game up. So much of it seemed to hang with Turner, who was coming more and more forward in the second half. Taken out of the game there. And obviously something happening too between Doherty and the number 10, Burt. And I would think one very interested Brentford player up in the stand, our own Jimmy Hill. And John Sydenham, the former Southampton winger, a real flying winger, the Aldershot substitute, beginning to warm up. And it looks as though the stretch is coming on now for the number 10, Jimmy Burt, who seemed to be involved with something with John Doherty. Burt obviously in a fair bit of trouble, and the ominous looking sign, you notice those two legs strapped together. Well, a blow indeed for Aldershot, because Burt has really looked very impressive indeed in this Aldershot back four. Frank Dunstan, you notice on the touchline there, giving a quick word to Bobby Ross. In the background, Frank Dunstan now coming out, having come out of the director's box, as he so often does when the feet begin to itch. So John Sydenham, a lot of First Division experience, and few wingers who in his heyday were faster than John. Free kick with Brentford, and Bentz with it. Floated again into that Aldershot penalty area. O'Mara again trying to get to it. Brown taking a long time to put that back and then deciding against putting it back. Grammett. And the first touch of the ball now for Sydenham, the substitute. Cross. And Turner couldn't control it, it goes into touch. Brentford's throw, and Bobby Ross to Brian Turner, played on nicely there for Doherty. He's got Cross and O'Mara in the middle, and Graham coming up very fast indeed with a header, and Graham really didn't make too much of that, but it was a beautiful run by Jackie Graham for all that. Now Cross again, Turner with Doherty free outside him, and Doherty is given offside. Tremendous piece of goalkeeping there though by Gurr, all to no avail. And another player down, the number 3, Jimmy Grammett. So Cliff Huxford, the old Southampton player, has got to come onto the field with the Southampton trainer still attending, or rather the Aldershot trainer still attending to Jimmy Burt. Well, I would think Jimmy Melia must be a little upset that the goal has gone against them, and not only that, the injury to Jimmy Burt, which looks to be fairly serious as well, all in the space of a couple of minutes. Showed he's still got some pretty fair reflections. Or did I mean reflexes? Jocelyn going through Doherty's challenge. And Grammett stopped by Ross. Jocelyn again. Oh, straight to O'Mara there. Aldershot really at the moment completely out of their stride as Ross puts it forward again, stopped though by Bennett, and Jocelyn once more there to get it for Aldershot. Grammett again. Brodie. And Nelms should be well in control of this one along with Phillips. Nicely for Graham, turned on well there for Doherty. Gurr has slipped as he tried to come out, so it's still Doherty now. For Brentford, turning it back, and nobody to hammer it home. Graham now, can he turn it? Oh, against the crossbar! And Turner again trying to turn it back, it's not out yet. Doherty with his head, but misjudging it. And still Brentford in possession now with Jackie Graham. And a throw, which I would think they'd probably get Roger Cross to continue this pressure. No, Cross is not going. What a tricky little run by Jackie Graham. He's really shown some fine touches this afternoon. Brentford's throw, and indeed, rather belatedly, they are leaving it to Cross. It wanted to be taken quicker than that, while the momentum and the pressure was still on Aldershot. O'Mara again at the near post will be the target man for this throw. And O'Mara, in fact, oh my goodness, how did that one go over? But somehow it did from Doherty, after O'Mara had done his work at the near post. There he is, John Doherty, as perplexed as anyone, I would think. So very nearly number 2 for Brentford. Dean. To Walden. Good ball there by Walden, straight to Brodie. A ricochet off Nelms. And Scales following it out, but it's a corner to Aldershot. Fraction over 10 minutes to go. Brentford leading by a goal to 0. And Aldershot really piling men forward now for this corner. 9 players from Aldershot now, either in the penalty area or on the fringes of it, as Brown takes this corner for them. Phillips, though, judging it well. Grummett. Bents, O'Mara, Turner. Much more competitive and entertaining second half. Dean with a quick throw. Aldershot now wanting to do everything fairly quickly as time begins to run out for them. Grummett. Dennis Brown. Brown to Jocelyn. Walden slipped as he tried to cross it, straight there for Turner, and now to Roger Cross. Bents, Turner, and Nelms. A long way forward, and oh, that's fallen nicely for O'Mara. Oh, and he's hit it over. Well, what he's trying to say is I tried to dip it, but he couldn't dip it, and it went well over that Aldershot crossbar. And now it's Sidney. With a little over 2 minutes left. Melledew, and really Aldershot have got to do something about it now. Swept wide for Brown. Just recovered from a hamstring, having his first game of the season, Brown. Jocelyn to try and put it through again for Sydenham, and down goes Sydenham, and nothing is given. No penalty, said the referee. As Sydenham looks up hopefully. Felt he should have got something. Gelson, a long one forward and Cross to chase it. But Walden should get there first for Aldershot. No messing, and Brown now, Dennis Brown. Bennett, Jocelyn. Brown again. Melledew looking for this one, and Nelms jumping beautifully above him to nod it away to safety for Brentford. Jocelyn again now. Sydenham trying his luck on this side of the field. Full of tricks, but he couldn't find a way through. Brown again. Played wide there for Jocelyn, an interesting looking ball this. Now can Jocelyn cross this one? Howard looking for him with his head. And Grummett is right in there too! And they've equalised with practically the last kick of the game! And it's Jimmy Grummett who's done it! That really must be almost the last kick of the game. And it makes it 1-1. Well, that silenced every one of the Brentford fans. It looked as though Brentford were coasting to 2 points. And suddenly out of the bag, that cross, and Grummet really made it. And there, in fact, hardly time to kick off, and Aldershot have got a point when it seemed no point could possibly have been theirs, with Jimmy Grummet, the number 3, in the very last half-minute of the game. And Brian Turner thoroughly disillusioned, having scored the Aldershot goal, which could look as though it must have given them 2 points. But in the end it didn't, and we're left with a final scoreline that says Brentford 1, Aldershot 1.
So a really dramatic finish there at Griffin Park, Brentford yesterday, and still to come on the big match programme today for you to enjoy. Highlights of Preston against Fulham, and that really tremendous game up at St James's Park, Newcastle, between Newcastle and Liverpool, starring Malcolm MacDonald. Now, some of the Brentford fans that I spoke to after the game yesterday said that must have been the worst performance by their side over the past few years. I think, if anything, that must be a little bit on the strong side. But everybody seemed to agree that referee Oliver had a very good game indeed. I spoke to the managers Jimmy Melia and Frank Blunston about that afterwards. First of all to Frank Blunston, and I asked him if the players were affected by the events of the last week.
Possibly, but I thought this referee did exceptionally well, and I was very, very pleased with him. I thought he did very well.
Jim, what about your fellas? Do you I mean, were they aware of, obviously they were aware of 70-odd bookings in the week. Did this inhibit them in any way?
No, I thought, as Frank said, the referee done tremendous today compared to what we've had over the last 3 or 4 weeks. I thought he let things go, which I thought was a hard game, but a fair game. And some of the tackles today would have been booked possibly last week, but today I thought he was very sensible about things. I thought the players done well, you know.
But had you fellas played your part by having words with your players beforehand? Did you instruct them as to the way they should
Well,
play?
I think we always instruct them, you know, not to do anything stupid, but I think the referee is the one who makes the final decision, you know, on things. I thought both of them done well today, the referee, the players, you know.
Did you say anything, Frank, to your players, very briefly?
No, Brian, I just told them to play within the laws of the game, which we always tell them, and they did this today without any questions at all.
Brentford's 71-72 campaign ended with the Bees winning promotion to the 3rd Division, although sadly the club dropped back down again after just the 1 season. 2 players who played an important part in that campaign were Bobby Ross and Jackie Graham, and they joined our reporter Peter Gillam at Griffin Park to reminisce about their time with Brentford.
I've got 2 gentlemen in front of me who've played some 730 games between them, scored over 100 goals, Bobby Ross and Jackie Graham. Nice to see you back here at Brentford.
Nice to be back, yes. Yeah.
Look back over the years. Bobby, start with yourself. You joined in 66 here at Brentford.
Yeah.
Traumatic days, because within a few months, of course, we had a takeover, or chance of takeover here.
Exactly, yeah.
Must have been quite a traumatic start for you.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit different joining the club with high hopes, and then suddenly you find the club might not be in existence. But everybody rallied around, supporters, club, the players, and eventually we defeated what was happening, and the club went from strength to strength.
That's right. There's a lot of 4th Division football at the time you were here, and of course you had to wait until 72 to get promotion on that fateful day, April the 22nd.
That's right.
Against Exeter City. Must be
Yes.
quite memorable, I thought.
Yes, so they tell me, a long time ago. No, I just remember really that we had to virtually win to get promoted, and we're fortunate to get a penalty, I think, with about 10, 15 minutes to go. Some Scottish fella took it. Was it you, Jack?
Wasn't it me, Bob?
No, it was me. No, it was me, and luckily it bobbled a couple of times before it went in the net. So the fans were on the pitch and we were happy, and well, I think the whole club was quite pleased, you know. And it was good for the team and the supporters that we went up.
It's quite a day, April 22nd, because 6 years to the day, April 22nd, 1978, you were doing much the same thing. No penalty, Jackie, but you were leading the team, as Bobby was 6 years earlier, to promotion in a home game.
That's right, yeah. That's right.
2-0 against Darlington, I believe.
That's correct, yeah. That's right, yeah.
What memories do you have of that?
That's just a great feeling, like, you know, that hopefully we're eventually going to try and get somewhere with Brentford, and that was the main, you know, really pleasing part about it. Like, we're trying to do a lot of Watford did, like, you know, and try and just progress, but fortunately for me and Bob, that never really happened the time we were here, you know.
Highlights in your careers. I'm wondering if it might have been in 70-71 with the FA Cup run we had. Both of you scored on that run. You scored, I think, early on in that run. Of course, in the first game, we scraped through 2-1 in 2 goals in the final 2 minutes with John Doherty and some other guy.
Yeah.
Manchester United?
Yeah, that's right. Big Stewart, was it?
Alex Stewart,
yeah.
Alex Dawson,
Yeah.
He took us on quite a mazy run.
yeah. The Black Prince, yeah.
Yeah.
Jackie, you scored at the mud at Cardiff.
Cardiff, yeah. And that was a great game. We were really pleased that the game was on that day, because we were really fit with Brian Green trained us every week, you know, and we were really fit, you know, and we were quite pleased that the game was on. And there's only
I remember it was a really muddy day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Muddy day, and I mind we played two natural wingers out wide. I think Crossy was up the middle, was it?
Yeah.
Crossy was up in the middle and played him on his own. Yeah, good result for the lads that day, and we played some good stuff in difficult conditions.
Yeah. And of course, as a result of that, we went to Hull City, Booby Park. It's a game you may well remember. Well, you both played in it, but Bob, of course, you scored the first goal, or only goal.
Yeah, that's right. It was a big step for us, really, 5th round, and we weren't intimidated with them at all. And we went there and we managed to get 1-0 up, and I think I finished 2-1 just after half time. Yeah,
They hit the inside of the post.
Brian Turner went through 1 against 1, smashed it against the crossbar.
Right, yeah.
Best place for him, New Zealand, isn't it? Really?
Next, we leap forward nearly 8 years to the 24th of February 1979, where we find the Bees back in the 3rd Division under the helm of manager Bill Dodgen. With a certain Graham Taylor and his Watford squad the visitors to Braemar Road, here's Brian Moore again.
But first of all, let's get off to that 3rd Division game between Brentford and Watford. The Bees against the Hornets, in fact, and nicknames which really suggest something a bit special, which is just the way it turned out to be, as we join the 13,800 crowd in the ground.
Griffin Park, Brentford, not a ground we see often, but one that saw First Division football just before and after the Second World War. A pleasant, compact stadium. Some 30,000 fans can get under cover here, where in the post-war years men like Tommy Lawton played. Ron Greenwood was also a Brentford player, so was Jimmy Hill. And this year the club celebrates its 90th anniversary. Today we celebrate the fact that 2 prolific goal scorers of recent times are in opposition. For Brentford, Steve Phillips, 36 goals last season, the best in the country this season, and Steve claims that the woodwork has been hit 10 times by him. And for Watford, Ross Jenkins, well, he's doing this season what Steve did last. He's already hit 30 goals, and indeed he was a junior here at Griffin Park. Here then is the Brentford side today. Things have been looking up for them in the last few weeks. Jackie Graham is their long-serving captain. The number 2, Dennis Salmon, was in the England under-21 squad for the postponed match in Holland this week. The number 4, Jim McNichol, is a Scottish under-21 man, and the striker, Andy McCulloch, is formerly of Queen's Park Rangers and Oxford. Watford, well, the names here are becoming familiar after that brilliant run through to the semi-finals of the League Cup. Luther Blissett, along with Ross Jenkins, the star of the show. Though, of course, it's been a good all-round team effort that has taken the club to the top of the 3rd Division. Referee today is Clive Thomas from Porthcawl in Wales, and the crowd, well, it looks like Brentford's best of the season. So Brentford in the stripes of red and white and black shorts get us away, attacking the goal to our right. Watford in yellow shirts with red shorts. The 4th meeting between the 2 clubs this season. They met twice in the League Cup and once in the league already, and Watford have won on every occasion so far. Dennis Smooth there. This is Alan Garner with the throw for Watford, who've lost only 1 of their last 17 league games. It's also worth mentioning that Brentford, after a really desperate start to the season, have not been beaten in their last 6, but they haven't been scoring that many goals. Their last home game here, though, was a notable 1-0 victory against promotion contenders Swansea. So things are looking up for the Bees a little bit in the last few weeks. Ray Train now for Watford, finding Ian Bolton, now playing in the midfield for Watford. Keith Pritchard, who used to be here at Brentford, number 3 for Watford, a long ball on the far side, and knowledge behind, in fact, there by Barry Tucker for a Watford corner. To be taken by Keith Pritchard, and of course the man that Brentford will have to watch in these situations the whole time is this giant of the number 9, Ross Jenkins, who's right on that goal line. That's hit in low and in fact into the side netting. Had a couple of seasons here as a junior before he signed for Crystal Palace and then went on to Watford, Ross Jenkins. hopes. The little ball played for Paul Shrub. Salmon under pressure from Blissett. And a free kick given against Luther Blissett. He's got 23 goals this season. Amazing to think that he and Jenkins between them have scored 53 goals. But here's Salmon then with the free kick for Brentford. Jenkins up there to get it away. Shrub putting it back gently into the arms of Sherwood. Graham doing well. Stirk. Booth and Train. And now Bolton. Place there for him. Shrub trying to get back on the goal side of him. Pritchett. Blissett. Looked like a handball. Penalty. I don't think there was a great deal about it. As it was certainly inside the area. And as we can see there, it was certainly a handball. A chance to go to the lead. Keith Pritchett, a former Brentford player, now with a chance to put Watford ahead if he can get it past Lenborn. And it's 1-0 to Watford. Planted very deliberately there by the left-back Keith Pritchett. And that puts Watford into the lead. Brentford 0, Watford 1. With a handball by Jim McNichol. And Garner and Stirk, I think, probably getting in each other's way a little bit there. And Garner, in the end, forced to concede the corner. Cruz coming up for this one, the big central defender. And Jim McNichol up as well. Alan Garner there. So Brentford corner, nodded back nicely there. Now will it fall for a Brentford player? It might. In fact, it was hit by Jackie Graham, and it might go anywhere, and indeed. Jackie Graham with this corner for Brentford. Deep again there, and McCulloch was right in there, and Smith was in there, and now here's Graham again with a chance to turn it in. And claims for a handball there on the edge of the box, and I certainly got the impression there was a handball. I don't think it was inside the penalty area. The referee looking at the linesman saying no, nothing doing. Jenkins on for Train, now for Pollard. And Tucker getting in and playing it neatly back. Cruz. Graham. Towards McCulloch. Smith getting in there. That's 1-1. Dean Smith. A goal of beautiful simplicity. With a question mark against Watford's marking, really. As it came in there, and a nice little touch by Dean Smith, the former Leicester City player, over the head of Brentford 1, Watford 1. Dean Smith, the scorer for Brentford. It's a Brentford throw. Dave Carlton with it. Yes. 1 yard too many forward. Well, a beautiful afternoon for a good game of football now, and it looks as though we have the makings of it. Steve Sims nodding it forward. Now, Phillips. Nicked in again for Smith. Hit first time by Shrub. Wide of the goal. Goal kick. That was okay, Paul Shrub. Well, that's not a problem that the players have had for quite a long time now. A bit of sun in their eyes. Lovely ball. What a beautiful ball by Carlton now for Smith. And they throw. I think it's maybe a free kick. It's a free kick for Brentford. Carlton will take it. Cruz has come up again. McCulloch poised on the far side. So Carlton's kick. And they head it on! And it's Phillips who's put it there. So Watford, from being a goal up, now find themselves a goal down, and Steve Phillips, for whom so little has gone right, look at the joy, and really you should share it with him. A tremendous goal scorer, having none of the luck this season, but the ball bobbled in there to him, and it was a close range header. Brentford 2, Watford 1. And Steve Phillips is back on song again. So a troubled little period now for the man who's pointing there, Graham Taylor, the Watford manager, with Eddie Plumley, the Watford secretary, along with him. Tucker forward, and Steve Sims with the header. Good ball there, played for Blissett. Now has he got the pace to get away? Well, he's got Ross Jenkins waiting in the middle. Tremendous pace here by Blissett, and Bolton with a tremendous shot too. That is hit right out of the ground, but what a great run by Blissett. Well, he showed all his potential there, taking it to the byline and pulling it back, and it fell nicely into the path of Bolton. And the shot was too high. Blissett. Down from Jenkins again, the old 1-2, Ray Train going in there. Touch for Pollard, and a very good piece of defence indeed by Barry Tucker, the number 3. Giving Watford the corner. Pritchard will take it again. Again, Ross Jenkins on that goal line, as you can see. Just poured down, and Blissett makes it 2-2. In fact, Brentford are complaining about something there, and in fact Watford themselves seemed a little surprised when the goal was given, but Clive Thomas had no doubts about that. Interesting to find out what the Brentford complaints were about, because as the corner came swinging in, Ross Jenkins, whether he impeded Len Bond or not, but the ball was only flapped out as far as Luther Blissett, who replied with profit to make it 2-2. Now Sherwood has got to jump for that one. Brentford bench there. On the left, Bill Dodgin having something to say for himself. Phillips. Well, that's a nice turn by him. Oh, and a good save by Sherwood from Smith. What a delightful cross it was, though, by Steve Phillips. And it caught Smith in an unmarked position, nodded it down, did everything right, except that Steve Sherwood's reactions were superb. There's Bolton. Pollard on this side. And Jim McNichol. With 5 minutes to go to half-time. Yeah, nicely, and it's Phillips coming into it, and Garner didn't quite know where it was. It took a fist from Sherwood. There must have been some pushing by Steve Phillips there. Certainly Andy McCulloch's header into the centre caused a few problems again for Watford. Jenkins winning it in the air. But here's Barry Tucker, Welshman. John Stirk for Watford. Intercepted there by McNichol. Tucker again. Nice touch there by McCulloch. And back it goes from Pritchett, but the whistle had gone for a foul on Steve Phillips. So it's Phillips now. To spare so far as Steve Sherwood was concerned, and Steve Phillips beginning to really get back in that goal-scoring mood. Amazing, I think he got 36 last season, but only 2 up till today, and he's added to that with that fine header from close range. Play in for Jenkins. Pritchett once more now. Can he turn this one in? Tucker's header away. Sims, Bolton, Jenkins, and a great save again by Bond. When I think Brentford were looking towards the linesman to see whether there was an offside, there was no flag, and Jenkins was suddenly free. A really fine piece of goalkeeping though by Len Bond kept him out. Bolton's header. Phillips, nice little touch in. It wasn't quite as nice as I thought it was going to be. Actually, it was a very good one aiming in towards Dean Smith. And that's going to be yet another corner for Brentford. In the last seconds of the first half, indeed, Clive Thomas looking at his watch. Now, will Brentford get this corner in before the half-time whistle? There's the corner going in, and there's the whistle, and it's half-time after a very eventful and entertaining first half, with 4 goals shared between the two sides. With Pritchett from the penalty spot, and Blissett, under certain controversial circumstances, getting the second goal for Watford, with Dean Smith and Steve Phillips scoring the 2 for Brentford after they'd been that goal down. So I think plenty to look forward to in this intriguing third division game in the second half. We take a break now, and after that break we bring you the second half with Brentford 2, Watford 2. We'll be back. Welcome back to Griffin Park, Brentford. Watford now in the yellow shirts and red shorts, attacking the goal to our right. The score standing at 2-2, and the prospect really of a very fine second half if the first half is anything to go by. Train again, a long ball forward, hoping that Jenkins can chase and win it, but Cruz has no intention of letting him do that. It. Carlton for Dennis Salmon. Control there and a little bit of pace as well, and a second chance to go with it. Coming there for the goal. No, hooked away by Steve Sims from Andy McCulloch. And off the top of the crossbar. My word. A couple of real narrow squeaks there for Watford. First of all, McCulloch's header, which was scrambled off the line by Steve Sims. And then when the ball came in again, once more from McCulloch, off the top of the Watford crossbar it went. Foul over there on Phillips by Keith Pritchett, and that's going to be a yellow card. Well, we've seen 4 goals. We've also seen some very, very narrow things, and also some good goalkeeping as well. Both goalkeepers, in fact, have made very good saves here today. But it's Brentford again with this free kick. Carlton, who seems to take all the dead ball kicks. McCulloch a little too high for him, but here's McNichol turning it back once more. Very skillful cross, and Phillips! Nice cross in by Jim McNichol there. And Phillips, who's looking very sharp and active, but over the top. Listen. Salmon this time, and I wonder whether you spotted the referee pointing to this side of the field, clearly saying to young Salmon that I warned you in the first half on the other side of the field for a foul on Bissett, and this time it's a yellow card. So a free kick now for Watford. Pritchett, who's just had a yellow card, with a long one coming in there, and it's there by Jenkins. The danger that Brentford always knew existed from this lanky fellow. And sure enough, as Pritchett's free kick came in, there's Jenkins above them all to register goal 31 of the season for him and to put Watford 3-2 into the lead. So again, this game takes another swing. Watford in the lead, pull back to level, go behind, pull back level themselves, and now in the lead. And here are Brentford now with McCulloch. And McCulloch again. Pritchett, or rather Bolton, got that one away. Garner's header away. And Bissett. Jenkins. Shrub. Now Salmon. Nearer the action now, Graham Taylor, on the right of the picture there. The director's box in the first half, to the bench, the Watford manager in the second half. Phillips. It's played in there towards Smith. Oh, another fine piece of goalkeeping though by Sherwood. It's a beautiful Brentford move though. Once Phillips had wriggled his way free, and in fact he's got a bit of pace about him, played very intelligently in there towards the near post. Smith met it well, and Sherwood got down beautifully. Bolton is losing it to McCulloch. But not a support up there at the moment for McCulloch, but he at the moment doesn't need it. Turn in towards Phillips. It's a nice bit of play by him. And was that a handball there? Claiming handball there. And the linesman has given it. And the referee has agreed it's a penalty. Good understanding there between linesman and referee. Clive Thomas had given a corner in the first place. Steve Sims was the man who handled it. Clive Thomas had given a corner. He looked across to the referee, who had his flag pointing across his... and that means a penalty. So Steve Sims not happy with it. And I think without doubt that's the linesman's decision. And it now gives Steve Phillips a chance, in fact, to double his season scoring in this one game. He came to the game with 2 goals. All season, he's already scored 1. Now, he has the chance to make it 3-3. Phillips versus Sherwood, and it's there, 3-3. Well, the same corner that Keith Pritchett had used earlier on in the game. Phillips kept his nerve beyond Steve Sherwood into the back of the net. Brentford 3, Watford 3. So Steve Phillips, his second goal, and Brentford's third. What a very good game this is, and it's not over yet by a long way. McCulloch going in there, and Brentford getting a corner. With only 14 minutes of the second half gone. And Griffin Park really alive. And why not? This has been a beautiful game of football at 3-3. Sims. Whether he's still worrying and arguing about that penalty, I don't know. But that's McNichol with a nice backward header. Oh, and a beautiful piece of keeping again. As McCulloch went roaring in there. Corner by Carlton, a nice backward header by McNichol, and a diving header by Andy McCulloch. Well gathered by Steve Sherwood. Nice play by Dave Carlton. What a beautiful ball played by him for Dean Smith. And Smith surely obstructed there, yes. Free kick given. So Salmon will take it. Staves today has Steve Sherwood, and he might be called upon to make one or two more yet. All the big men are getting in there, tipped just over that time by Sherwood, again equal to it. Nice little free kick in there. All the big men went up for it, and Steve Sherwood just making it over the top. He should know these Griffin Park pitch well, should Sherwood. Over 60 games here for Brentford. On loan from Chelsea. And a goal kick. Roger Jocelyn warming up, tremendous competitor. Sims hitting that long ball forward. Cruz nodding it down here, and away this time. And in fact, there must have been a foul by Stirk, and it's a yellow card. For the foul by Stirk on Tucker. Yellow card. Foul there. And Watford, in fact, at this point making their substitute. Ray Train is going off. And Roger Jocelyn coming on. Ducking into that one for Salmon to knock it towards Smith, hoping to get McCulloch in there, and also Phillips. And the ball played back by Jocelyn, and Phillips is in there, and McCulloch is in there, and Smith has headed it over. Well, almost the first touch that Roger Jocelyn, the substitute, had could have been a disastrous one. Played there for Smith. It was just going that little bit wide, but he turned it back well. McCulloch was right in there. Smith also had a go, but it's a goal kick. Phillips. Now Shrub. It's a good shot, and it was a good save. Paul Shrub with that one, that long-range one, which deflected along the way, and again Sherwood was down and equal to it. Jenkins with a header. Blissett on his way. Pollard supporting him. But maybe Blissett won't want that support as he gets to the byline, crosses it over. Brilliant piece of play again by Tucker. Nobody's defended better than this fella today, and that was a moment when he called out the whole repertoire as Blissett went past them to the byline, did it exactly right by just chipping the ball in, and Tucker saved Brentford without any doubt at all. A corner, though, for Watford. 4 minutes to go. Bond just putting it away there. Blissett hitting it back in again, and Bond saving well once more. Limited amount of work for Len Bond this afternoon, but what he's had to do, he's done particularly well. Two sides who've done the third division an enormous amount of credit today. The excitement and the skill factor have been at the highest level from first to last, and really anybody who's been here today, and it's been a good big crowd, can only go home tonight and say we really had our money's worth. It was a game that swayed so many different ways. A game that you felt that both sides might at some point have won quite easily. In the end, maybe we got the just result. With Smith and Phillips 2 for Brentford, and Pritchett, Lissett and Jenkins for Watford. There's a lot of happiness in Griffin Park as this game comes to an end, with a final scoreline then here that reads Brentford 3, Watford 3.
Well, proof that there's plenty of good football played down in the third division these days, and I don't think the big match team have been to a game that's provided more enjoyment this season. Full credit then both to Brentford and to Watford. 6 goals, 2 of them from penalties, and penalties, of course, are things that we like to clear up for you. The first came when Jim McNichol handled from this cross coming in from Keith Pritchett, a little touch off by Luther Blissett. McNichol is the Brentford player marking him. You can see he just touches out his hand there, and Clive Thomas was beautifully placed to point with certainty to the spot. But what about the second one, as Steve Phillips takes the ball past the challenge of Alan Garner here? A lovely little cross in, which Garner doesn't touch there. But wait a moment, that looks to me a perfectly fair chesting down of the ball by Steve Sims. It was the linesman who flagged and said he thought it was a penalty. Clive Thomas originally had given a corner, but took the word of the linesman, as they do, working together well as a team, and pointed to the spot. It may have been that Watford were a little hard done by on that particular occasion. 2 moments of controversy then in what was a marvellous afternoon's entertainment. And in fact, the Brentford penalty kick caused Steve Phillips a problem or two when he came up to take it. You see, he hadn't had much practice with penalties this season.
No, that's the first one we've had in the league, and we had one in the League Cup against Watford, which the keeper saved. And it took the ball. I don't know whether someone kicked the ball out of the ground, but we had to have a new ball. And I was trying to calm myself down.
Oh, today this was?
Yeah, yes. Especially with the cameras being here. Yes. It would have looked well with me missing it.
Yes. So you didn't quite hit it the way you wanted to hit it, or what?
No, when the new ball come on, the new ball was a lot lighter than the ball we've been playing with, and I felt it. And I normally put them to that side, but quite a lot higher up. And I thought I'll have to try and keep this one on the floor, because you know there's every chance of me lifting it over the bar.
Yes.
One man who has certainly earned his place in the Bees' Hall of Fame is Ken Coote, who notched up a staggering 513 league appearances for the club between the years of 1949 and 1964. Ken still visits Griffin Park occasionally, and Peter Gillam had the opportunity to chat to him after a recent match.
Ken, great to meet you here at Brentford again after some 559 appearances.
That's right.
Record attendance, record appearances.
Uh-huh. That's
what
right.
recollections do you have of that? Some years ago, of course.
Well, it was a great life. I really enjoyed the club, you know, being here.
Of course, you're one of the original Hall of Famers as well. Being
yes,
held by
yeah,
the
that
club.
was a nice.
Do you see much football nowadays?
I don't go about much, you know, only down here most of the time when I can get to games. But
what sort of differences do you see in the 15 years that you were at Brentford and what you see now?
I think it's much faster these days.
And the quality of players, not necessarily here at Brentford, but generally in football?
Yes, I think they're a little bit better, you know. I think the game's more thought out in these days, you know. There's more things on free kicks and corners, which we didn't do in our days, really. You know, think out so much like that.
Did you have any aspirations to stay in football when you actually hung your boots up, as it were?
No, not really. Not really. No, I wasn't that type, you know.
And a very good disciplinary record, I understand.
Yes, that's right, yes.
Did you actually finish at Brentford, or did you move on to...
No, I finished at Brentford, that was my finish, yes. Yeah.
And you had some representative football as well?
Yes, I've played for London 3 or 4 times in the Intercities Cup.
It's something about Brentford. It's always been a nice homely club, and nice to see
they were all
ex-players come
seemed
back.
all local boys, you know, in my day anyway.
For our next match, we once again catch up with the Bees at Griffin Park. The date is the 19th of January 1980. The visitors are Jack Charlton's Sheffield Wednesday, and our commentator as ever is Brian Moore.
Andy McCulloch comes back to Griffin Park. He left Brentford in the summer for Sheffield Wednesday after being one of Brentford's top scorers last season with 14 goals in the league. And today he'll face a newcomer in the Brentford side, the central defender Steve Harding, playing his first game for the Bees since he joined them on loan this week for a month from Bristol Rovers. Let's take a check on the two sides then. And first, Brentford, there's just one change where Steve Harding comes in for Pat Cruz, who was sent off last week and is suspended. It's a Brentford side that's been slipping a bit lately. Badly needs a victory today to put them back in touch with the promotion teams. The same can certainly be said of Sheffield Wednesday. After their home defeat last week against Plymouth, but Jack Charlton sticks to the same side. Former London men in the team are the number 6 Brian Hornsby, who had 6 years at Arsenal, number 8 Jeff Johnson, who was at Crystal Palace, and of course Andy McCulloch. The leading scorer for them is the former Southampton man Terry Curran. Referee today, it's Brian Stevens of Stonehouse in Gloucestershire, and the sun's come out, but there's still a real wintry feel about West London around this ground that has seen football in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th divisions since the war. And among the guests there, as you can see, Russell Harty in the centre, proving that he's a Saturday afternoon person as well, and the playwright Willis Hall on the left, who is a Brentford director. So Brentford in the red and white stripes and black shorts attacking the goal to our right, get us away. Sheffield Wednesday in a chain strip of yellow shirts and white shorts. Brentford having such a bad run, 6 without a win. Getting a free kick in the opening seconds of the game. Until just after Christmas, certainly they were right in the promotion hunt. Needing a win today to put things right again. Steve Phillips hoping to get in very quickly there, but it was Jeff King who got in the tackle that gained a bit of respite there for Sheffield Wednesday. Goalkeeper here, Bob Boulder, used to be with Dover. Amazing that Brentford's last win was a 7-2 victory here against Hull. McCulloch and Salmon going for this one. Shrub just turning it back. It's Terry Curran, played for Nottingham Forest and Derby and Southampton. This will fall for Carlton again. Dave Carlton. So cut out there by King and played a long way back there by Hardy. Salmon, Phillips, cut out by Mike Pickering, another former Southampton man, and now Curran. Getting into a bit of trouble there, and an obstruction given against Tucker. On Curran, a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Miller's up for this one. Number 3, Dave Grant, is up for it as well. McCulloch right in there. King also. So plenty of big targets here for Curran to aim for when Mr. Stevens has got that 2-man Brentford ball back the full 10 yards. Curran with the kick there. Floated in there. And a header down and just wide there by Dave Grant for Sheffield Wednesday. Brentford marking wasn't all that good, and it looked for a moment as though that might just creep inside that post, but with Bond sprawling across there, it just went wide. Now Curran. Well, instantly 2 Brentford tacklers were onto him. Ray Blackhall with the throw. Bella. Curran, so cross curling in towards McCulloch. Hornsby very positive in the air, getting above Jackie Graham there. Mellor. Hornsby, Harding away. Pickering always likely to beat Steve Phillips in the air. Shoving the back that time by Harding on McCulloch, a free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Brian Hornsby looking to take it fairly quickly, and a bit of skill there by Fraser getting it away to Phillips. Played out wide for Lee Holmes, number 9. That's not a bad ball. If Jackie Graham can get onto it, bowler's out, right on the edge of the box. Good piece of play, though, by Lee Holmes, the number 9. He's a part-time player. They picked him up from the Isthmian League side Haringey a couple of years ago. A nice ball played in there, though. And Bowler very quickly out to rescue it. Played towards Alder, but a little bit behind the real men who were up front. And a chase now for Mellor. And a chance for Mellor, suddenly developing for Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, my word. What his pace suddenly put him clear of everybody. And Brentford really hadn't reorganised themselves. And a shot by Ian Mellor that finished up in that clutch of Sheffield Wednesday supporters behind the goal. Mark Smith. Brian Hornsby. Played in again for McCulloch. And now for Curran. Supported by Hornsby. Here's Hornsby with a shot. Oh, my word, a brilliant goal. Tremendous goal there for Sheffield Wednesday. We'll have to go a long way to see a better one than that, with Curran playing such a part in it, aware that Hornsby was making his run, but he let it go. Brentford 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. 28 minutes gone, Brian Hornsby the scorer, and that's only the second time he's found the net this season, and I doubt if he's ever scored a more spectacular one than that. King, played back. So Jackie Graham trying to get his team on the move again to put an end to this depressing run of theirs. Not a win in the last 6, and now losing 1-0 at the moment here as Curran takes it up again for Sheffield Wednesday. Again that old treatment back to Hornsby, but this time there's a chance for Brentford surely to get it away, but I'm not sure they're going to take it. They are in the end, as Bond falls bravely at the feet of Jeff Johnson. But they were in a bit of a state again. From the moment Curran played that ball in to Hornsby, and it eventually came through to Jeff Johnson. But now Brentford. Piece of play there by Mark Smith. He's only 19, a Sheffield boy. He's their penalty taker. He's had 7 this season and scored from all 7. Hornsby again. Now Alder. Doug Alder for Brentford. Steve Phillips. Alder again. And a chance for Phillips. Well, how on earth did he miss that? That's when he's lying there, sitting there, wondering himself. Sheffield Wednesday complaining that Phillips was offside, but there was no flag, no whistle. And suddenly the little striker, who really has got a prolific goal-scoring record over the years, was absolutely clear of everybody. And if anything, took it much too quickly. Had more time than he thought. Grant. Hornsby. Sending McCulloch on his way. Harding's right there with him. Played back again for Jeff King. As the whistle goes for an offside inside that Brentford penalty area. A free kick to Brentford, who look like a side a bit low on confidence, although they've had a couple of chances that have not been accepted. Wednesday with a good away record. They've only lost 2 away this season. In fact, if their home form had measured up to that, they would have been even more towards the promotion areas at the top than they are at the moment. Their away record has been really quite impressive, and it has been here today. As the half-time whistle goes, and it's the goal by Brian Hornsby, and what a spectacular one it was that has put Sheffield Wednesday into a half-time lead. Although, of course, if Steve Phillips had done what he usually does with that chance, a little after it, it would have been 1-1. As it is, though, a very evenly balanced match still, and a half-time score here at Griffin Park, Brentford. Brentford 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. We'll be right back with the second half. Welcome back to Griffin Park, the home of Brentford, and it's Sheffield Wednesday who are about to kick off in the yellow shirts and white shorts, attacking the goal to our right. Sheffield Wednesday leading by a goal to 0. And Brentford keen, of course, to put an end to their bad run, and needing to take the chances that come in this second half, which is something they didn't quite do in the first half. Here's Mike Pickering, who had such a good storming game at the back for Sheffield Wednesday in the first half. Boulder trying to make a bit of progress, but Blackhall getting it back to Bob Boulder. With his header. Salmon playing a strange game there in his own penalty area, and King with a chance to cross it in towards Curran, and the chance was on there for Sheffield Wednesday, but instead it's a goal kick for Brentford. With the header away for Sheffield Wednesday. Harding up well there for Brentford. But now Johnson to King. And Curran leading the charge there for Sheffield Wednesday, going right the way through. The referee looked hard at it, decided there was no penalty. Curran was brought down there, but the referee decided it wasn't a penalty infringement. Phillips trying to make something out of that. Holmes' pass holding it up a little bit there as Alder nonetheless plays it back, and that was King again, and this time the card is coming out. Yellow card. And there was almost a resigned look on Jeff King's face there as spoken to a couple of times briefly in this second half alone. And the foul on Doug Alder was the last straw for the referee. It's a free kick. Dave Carlton with it. And they got it away all right in the end. A little bit of hesitation there by Sheffield Wednesday, but Smith and McCulloch between them got it away. Phillips, and a corner. So a corner for Brentford now. With about 7.5 minutes of the second half gone. Sorting out going in that Sheffield Wednesday defence. And again, Boulder's handling really excellent. He's a big fellow, and he really uses every inch he's got. Gets up so well, jumps at the highest point. Now it's Curran. Harding. Well, that's going to be some fun and games there, this time between Carlton and Johnson. A free kick to Brentford. One of those 6-1, half dozen of the other situations where a tangle of legs becomes a little more involved than either player should allow it to. Carlton. Pickering. Alder playing it in again towards Lee Holmes. Good handling again by keeper Boulder. Holmes' header very well saved indeed. Johnson. And the ball back with Bond. Jump by Blackhall. Carlton playing it wide again for Alder. Fraser's gone right forward as well. Phillips is in there, and here's Lee Holmes as well. And Phillips! And it's 1-1. Well, that was a beautifully made goal, no question of that. And the man who scored so many goals for Brentford over the years, these last few years, Steve Phillips, has made it 1-1. The ball in from the right, a nice touchdown that time from Lee Holmes, and taken so quickly by Steve Phillips to make it 1-1. I think Sheffield Wednesday were a little worried about an offside situation there, but the referee and linesman didn't hesitate. And we're back at 1-1. Scored. They don't look all that happy. Bill Dodgin, the Brentford manager, on the left. Tommy Baldwin, his coach. Jump by Tucker. Put it on again by Holmes. And Holmes again. The little touch through towards Jackie Graham. But again, Sheffield Wednesday. Mike Pickering, looking really angry with people around him. Wanting a little more effort from Sheffield Wednesday. Feeling maybe that Brentford are coming back and the game might be slipping away from Wednesday. Miller coming back to put his captain's words into operation. But it's still Salmon. Not a penalty. And the referee couldn't have been in a better position to see it. Certainly looked a dicey one, but you have to hand it to Brian Stevens. He was absolutely perfectly placed to say no penalty. And here's Curran for Sheffield Wednesday. A little touch inside for Pickering. Getting Curran to go on his way again, but cut out well that time by Simon. Ray Blackhall back to Bob Boulder. Through there for Miller. And there's 2-1. Well, Miller's great pace to a deafening silence. First of all, nobody could believe he was through. Put through by McCulloch. Round the keeper, and then it became a formality. So there you are, the Sheffield Wednesday fans behind the other goal, delighted to see their team now into the lead again. Brentford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Ian Miller the scorer. King, played again for Miller. Offside. Jackie Graham, who shortly is going to be substituted. Skipper of Brentford. Curran playing it in there, nodded away by Shrub, only as far as Hornsby, who claims a handball and gets it. A free kick then to the Wednesday. And the substitution is about to be made as Jackie Graham goes off. And Bob Booker, a forward, comes on. So they've taken off somebody from the midfield. They're throwing somebody else up front in order to try and get back this deficit. He wants to line up just the way he wants it, quite rightly. Glenn Bond, as Hornsby plays it there for Curran, and he hits it straight at Fraser. Hornsby again. And now Barry Tucker. Back to Len Bond. Wednesday. Fraser. And Booker's onside, but only just. And the ball just wouldn't bounce for him. But it has for Holmes. What an extraordinary goal, and it's 2-2. Well, the ball had difficulty crossing the line. It was that sort of goal. Elbow up and under, and it didn't bounce kindly for Bob Booker, who didn't really get a first touch of the ball there since he came on as substitute. But it did in the end fall for Lee Holmes. And he made it Brentford 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2. So 20 minutes left and quite a second half we've got. After this one, Harding there with him, playing it back to Bond. Well, that was quite an adventurous start there for the substitute Booker. Curran. And Phillips will go on. Now, Booker's onside. And he's got there first with Pickering after him now. Can he find the shot? He can't. Pickering came back so quickly and so well, and in fact even got a goal kick in the end and not a corner. But the young substitute was really on his way there with Pickering after him, and did a good defending job there, Pickering, hounding his man without giving away a penalty or anything silly like that. Aaron, here's Shrub. Over there, and he was very close to Carlton, and I think that was Grant dumping Alder, and it's a yellow card for him. That seemed totally unnecessary. Dave Grant, he's only a 19-year-old, and judging by that, he's got a little bit to learn yet. Free kick to Brentford. Salmon with it. Pickering getting the header away. Phillips trying to turn on the ball and somehow finds Alder. That was a nice little pass by Phillips. Alder's cross coming in towards Booker, but it's Blackwell getting it away. And the linesman flagging for an offside against Booker before Wednesday hooked it away. And in fact, Wednesday are going to bring on their substitute. They're going to take off Jeff King and bring on Melvin Sterland, a midfielder. So Jeff King goes off. So they've replaced one midfielder with another. Carlton again for Brentford. A little flurry now for Brentford with the score at 2-2 as we come to towards the last minute of the game. Johnson there, not with a very good header, but it was good enough to find Terry Curran. Fraser shadowing him and Tucker as well. And still Curran goes on. My word, he did well to get that in. And will it come now for Johnson to get a shot in? It will, but again he had to snatch at that one. But a terrific run there by Terry Curran. Pickering away again. Curran's after it, but Tucker's header was sure. Phillips playing it wide again here for Tucker. Referee looking hard at his watch now. An last seconds of this third division game, and a 2-2 scoreline. I think that's just about right. Brian Hornsby with the throw, and indeed there is the final whistle, and 2-2 is the final score. Lee Holmes with the second goal for Brentford, making sure that Brentford finish at least with a point. And it's a remarkable goal there by Phillips on the right, with his arm round the fellow who opened the scoring here, Brian Hornsby, with a spectacular goal for Sheffield Wednesday. The only scorer we haven't mentioned then is Ian Miller, who scored the second Sheffield Wednesday goal. So Hornsby and Miller for Sheffield Wednesday, Phillips and Holmes for Brentford, and a final score then as the teams come off here at Griffin Park. The goalkeeper's almost the last to leave. Brentford 2, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Our final game is from the 30th of August 1980, with new Brentford manager Frank Callaghan taking his third division side to the Midlands for the away fixture with Walsall.
So, Walsall against Brentford. The pictures are from ATV. The commentator's Hugh Johns. Walsall in the white shorts.
Good jump by Salman. Harris whacks that one away. Bain's got a touch, so if it goes out, it goes for the throw-in. But Tony Mackin covering. Pressure coming from Crown, takes it away from him nicely. Looking for the cross in now. And that was Dave Sorella coming to the rescue for Walsall. Ball disappearing over into what used to be the old laundry here. The referee has signalled for another ball, and Walsall a bit loath to provide one. The cost of them these days, I don't blame the club. So here's the corner from Silkman, and a shot, bang, a beauty, absolute cracker. Paul Walker. That was as good a goal as you'll see this season. It's his second goal of the season, in fact, scored in the League Cup, but what a screamer that was. Beautiful little corner, rolled in, he hits it first time just inside the post. Goalkeeper's got no chance with that. 1-0 Brentford. Just over 3 minutes gone. Well, there's a shock for Walsall fans. And this young, fairly inexperienced... it's an own goal! Disaster for Hill. Mark Hill. 4 minutes gone. And poor Mark Hill. Well, Brentford have a reputation for that on this ground. Pat Cruz scored an own goal here the last time Brentford played on the ground, and Hill, he picked his spot beautifully, didn't he? Just under the bar. 1-0. Poor Mark Hill. Silkman on for Herlock. Crown, if Mackin doesn't get there first, and he didn't. Here's Crown taking on Baines. On the left foot, the cross. And he was just so close. Freeman got a touch. Well, I was saying, you're going to watch this David Crown. I think a lot of clubs will be lining up to watch him before long. And the way he gets this onto the left peg. Makes the space for the shot. And Freeman just got fingertips to it as it goes past the far post. And Danny Salmon hits the free kick in the direction of Booker. That'll come down for Crown. Tempting and teasing. Oh, yes, that was a skid in. Funnel, and then it was Herlock arrived late. But once again, this fella Crown, David Crown, the man who creates it all, is giving Mackin a nightmare. Funnel's trying to steal in on the near post. First time shot, and Herlock off balance as he tried to knock in the rebound. Here's Moore. Attacking Harris, who's biding his time. Goes to Buckley, dogged by Salmon. Little ball into space, where Baines is. Now Mackin. A nice clearance, and Booker left it to Crown. He left it to Booker. Baines helps him out, gives him a throw-in anyway. Crown, back to Hill. Nobody challenging Hill. Funnel. Coming away from Serrera, the ball in low for Booker. Oof! How did that skid through then? I think Freeman did very well at the last moment to spot that. He was funnel feeding it in. And now here's Booker, the challenge from Moore. It came off Moa's leg, actually, so Freeman did extra well. Waddington in. Baines. Now Hart. O'Sullivan going down the right. Delayed it, but the ball is back to Mackin. As the cross, Cruz is in, so is McDonough. McDonough jumping well against the challenger Cruz. Got a good, solid forehead to the ball, but not on target. There's Mackin's cross. McDonough gets a good run at that, but he was, in fact, well wide. And that's Baines. Mackin, through ball which Penn is chasing for. Ball out, corner. Pat Cruz. Pat Cruz, Midlands born. Started over at Velvet Street with Leicester. Here's the corner from O'Kelly. Baines attacking on the far post. Sorella very nearly got there. That was a bit dodgy. It's the corner in, and on the back post. Big centre half, Baines gets a touch. There's Sorella. Wide, the target in front of him. Booker. Now, is that ball going to stay in for Crown? Yes, it is. Funnel skidding away, trying to lose his marker. There goes Funnel! Well, that was an important boot that Kenny Mauer stuck out then, because this short striker, Tony Funnel, when he goes in, he tries to make contact every time. Again, the good running of Crown. And there's Funnel, and that was an important challenge by Mauer. Walker now getting across, the ball out from Baines. Buckley losing himself. Walker's there again, driving it. Well, that was a good one, bang on target from Paul Walker, scorer of the Brentford goal. He doesn't hang about. Former England schoolboy, he saw the gap, hammered the ball right down the slot for goalkeeper Freeman. That's Waddington knocking it forward, cut out by Salmon. O'Kelly. McCulloch, no problems there. Baines down, Hurlock up, Baines again. McCulloch didn't make contact. Booker being pushed in the back by Dave Sorella. Free kick to Brentford. I'm feeling the strength of the wind has dropped quite considerably this last 10-15 minutes. Silkman takes the kick. That was Hill. He scored! Now that's made his day. Just like Pat Cruz on this ground. The last time Brentford were here, Mark Hill has scored for both sides. 2-1 it is to Brentford. 28 minutes of the second half gone. And all the memories of their own goal in the first half erased for Mark Hill. First time shot, squeezes it in on the near post. 2-1. Well, isn't that remarkable? Last time Brentford were here, 7th of April, 79. Pat Cruz scored for both sides then, in a match which Brentford won 3-2. And here we've got Mark Hill doing the same thing this afternoon, with the scoreline 2-1 to Brentford. Silkman is after this. Support from Hurlock's run. Deep Clark-Rose cross for Booker. Ah, yes, and Funnel is there. 3-1 it is. That was the old-fashioned stuff. bomb ball for the far post. The big target man gets there, and the little wee fella picks up the crumbs. Silkman sends Herlock on his way. Look at this ball for the far post. The target man there, Booker, knocks it down. Goalkeeper's nowhere. Funnel, ping. Beautiful goal. 3-1. Well worked. McDonough. Here's Hart. Must blast one. Did. Hit the post. Deserved better. Also could have done with a lot more of that sort of enterprise earlier in the game. There's Mackin low for Buckley. And he's buried that one. Little fella does it again. And totally deserved. Brentford had gone off to sleep for a couple of minutes. A tremendous shot from Hart that deserved to score that hit the post. And then Alan Buckley is in there like a flash. Half chance, edge of the box. Bang, and it's 3-2. Well, there's time. There's 5 minutes left. Oh, and a bad kick out. Rechecking on the score. 3-2, and in fact there's just 2 minutes left. My, hitting that hard and high. McDonough getting the touch. Buckley goes in. Goalkeeper's got it, lost it. Penn lost it again. Warrington hit the bar. Ay, ay, ay. Well, there was excitement. There was an equaliser in what, 3 shots there, one way and another. Here's the ball that started it up. Hard in. McDonough knocks it down. There goes Buckley. Didn't quite get there. Goalkeeper missed it. That was Penn's shot, and here's Waddington's. And Brentford just stood and watched it.
Still, it was a win for Brentford by 3-2, their second win this season. And what a day for Brentford's Mark Hill, who scored at both ends. One he'll never forget.
I think I remember this for a long time. A lot of things happened, really. It wasn't one of my best games, but I scored 2 goals, one at each end.
Well, let's see the good news and the bad news, and start off with the bad news. Let's see that goal again.
Well, Barry Silkman chipped it back. I don't think he hit it properly as he wanted, and it just came to me. I thought I'd just knock it back to Paul, and I think I hit it just a bit too hard, and couldn't believe it when it just sailed over his head into the net.
And had you actually lost your bearings at that stage?
Well, at the time I thought it was just a simple knock back. Just come off a little bit harder than I expected and just sailed over.
Right, Mark, tell us about the good news now.
Oh, well, that goal was Barry Silkman just chipped it in from the right on a free kick. It just came to me on my right foot. I just sort of swung my leg at it and it went in. It's not my best striking foot, but I was really amazed when it went in.
And that changed the whole course of the game?
Yes, yeah. It's a free kick we've worked in training, but more hitting the first man. And it came past the first man onto me and just stuck it away.
Well, I know you're an apprentice at Queen's Park Rangers with Clive Allen. You can tell him a bit about goal scoring now.
Yeah, watch that one, Clive. You might learn a bit.
We hope you've enjoyed watching our archive action from Brentford's bygone days and seeing once again the legendary lineup who graced Griffin Park with their presence. While many of today's younger Brentford fans weren't even born when our featured matches took place, the Bees' legacy as a family club at the heart of the local community remains as strong as ever, with the club and supporters alike determined to build on the past and see the Bees go on to bigger and better things in the years to come. It looks as if all is set fair for the future at Griffin Park.